Morning. Welcome back into Wake Up America. I'm Rob Finnerty. The Food and Drug Administration making some big news yesterday. The Alzheimer's drug Leqembi moving forward now with full FDA approval, and there is nobody better to discuss this with us than our next guest, professor at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, retired neurosurgeon, and former coronavirus task force member, also a former presidential candidate, Dr. Ben Carson, back with us here on Wake Up America. Dr. Carson, good to see you. Good morning.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
Give me your take on the FDA's decision to move forward with this new drug. How big a difference is this going to make for patients suffering from Alzheimer's?
Well, there's been a lot of research being done on Alzheimer's. You know, it's a very big problem in our society. The sixth leading cause of death in some studies, the third leading cause of death in our country. So it's a big problem because people are living longer. And it used not to be a problem, obviously, 100 years ago, but people didn't live that long.
Right.
A lot of things have been done to try to find the causes of Alzheimer's and to try to alleviate the symptoms of it. What happens is you develop these little neurofibrillary tangles in the brain, sort of like if you're on a racetrack, a car racetrack, and then somebody's sticking up all these barriers. You got to go around those too.
Right.
And this new drug, Leqembi, actually has been shown to decrease the number of those barriers that are on that racetrack. So if it's caught, early enough, potentially it can have an effect. And this is unusual because the committee studying this unanimously agreed that this was effective and to move it to the regular process as opposed to accelerated process.
And it's the first big Alzheimer's drug in a long time, Dr. Carson. Just a disease, both my grandfathers had Alzheimer's, and it's one of the worst diseases because it robs you of your memories, everything you did in your life. It's so sad. Do we know more about preventative steps that people can maybe take to try and prevent Alzheimer's? Are they looking at that as well?
Oh, absolutely. One of the really practical things is, when people retire, don't just sit around and look at TV all day. Be active, get involved in some things. That's been shown to retard the process significantly. So there are things that can be done also in terms of what you eat. Fresh fruits and vegetables, a lot of water, regular exercise, sleeping, have a regular sleeping pattern. All of those things are going to be very beneficial.
I want to pivot and just ask you a question. So scientists from Harvard and your alma mater, Yale, are investigating a new condition. It's called long Vacs, and it comes with some really awful symptoms, all linked to the COVID-19 vaccine. It sort of resembles long COVID. People, I'm sure, have heard that term before. What else can you tell us about this? What are you hearing about this?
Well, this is very interesting that this is coming out. Some of us have been talking about this for a long time. These vaccines have consequences. Now, have they been very helpful and saved a lot of lives? Absolutely. And what this really emphasizes the fact that instead of having a one-size-fits-all situation, let's let your physician and let's let the data indicate who should be getting vaccinated, because there are consequences. And one of the things that didn't happen during the whole COVID pandemic was people didn't talk about the complications associated with the treatments.
Right.
Which were much greater than we usually see with vaccines.
Right.
That doesn't mean that you shouldn't take the vaccine, but it means that you should work that out individually. You shouldn't have a mass mandate that everybody has to get it. And I think maybe that's the lesson that's to be learned here.
Yeah, so much of what was done makes absolutely no sense as we learn more about both the virus, but also we've got some time now separating us between when COVID was really bad and everything was happening. Just quickly, I wanted to ask you about this. You tweeted about the Supreme Court's ruling on affirmative action last week. You called it a massive win. Take us through that.
Well, it's a tremendous one because America is supposed to be a place where we have liberty and justice for all. That means everybody. Two wrongs don't make a right. So there have been a lot of problems in the past, particularly concerning Black Americans and their rights. But things have changed dramatically just in my lifetime. So affirmative action was never meant to be a permanent solution.
Right.
It was to provide an avenue whereby we would be able to prove that Black Americans were just as capable of being an astroscientist or a brain surgeon as anybody else, given the appropriate opportunities. That's already been proven. The only people who believe that Blacks are inferior intellectually now are Neanderthals. So we don't have to do that anymore.
Dr. Carson, always great having you on. Appreciate your expertise. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, coming up.